Just as I say that it is raining, it suddenly turns to snow. Well, the co-captains of Michigan, Guy Murdoch and Frank Gussick, both playing their final game here at Michigan Stadium this afternoon, have met at midfield with the co-captains of Ohio State, Harry Howard and Rick Galbus. And standing on his goal line, Billy Taylor and Glenn Dowdy are up at the 5. And we're just about ready to get this one underway. Here's the ball in the air, and here we go. The sailing kick coming to Dowdy at the 11. Up to the 15 he goes, 20, trying to swing right at the 25, but he's pulled down right at the 25-yard line by Rick Seifert, who got down there in a hurry to nail him. So Michigan will put the ball in play, 1st and 10, just shy of their own 25-yard line.
That'll be interesting to see now. Michigan, they've liked to go to the short side all year long.
They're strong to the left, working out of the I formation with both ends tight. Seal and Seymour are both in the lineup, and the handoff is given off to Ed Shuttlesworth, and the big fella from Cincinnati powers his way up over the left side to about the 29-yard line, where Rick Seifert, first in there to make the tackle from his safety position. This time they're strong to the right side. That's the wide side of the field. The pitch out goes to Taylor, and he's around that side, but he is hit in the backfield at about the 25-yard line by George Aspinall. The big left side tackle from Garfield Heights.
Tremendous effort. He bombed through and nailed Taylor before the play could really develop, actually.
And back to pass goes Slade. Getting the time to throw. Runs out of the pocket now. He's going to run with the football. The 25 and the 30 swings wide, and he is knocked spinning at the 32-yard line. He's short of a first down. Harry Howard coming up quickly from his cornerback position to make the tackle on Tom Slade. Finding everybody covered, he ran out of the pocket and to 39.8. Here comes his punt. He sails one out of this time into the wind. Back is Santana, who grabs it at the 23, comes to the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50. He may break it. The 40, the 35, and he's pulled down by Billy Taylor on the Michigan 25-yard line. Quickly now, let's run down this Ohio State offense for you. At the tight end will be Rick Middleton. The split end is Jimmy Harris. The tackles are Milan Vakensky and Rick Simon. The guards are Jim Cragle and Chuck Bonica. The center is Tom Nixon. The quarterback is Don Lemke. The running backs are Elmer Lippert. By Campana giving Ohio State a first down. They mark it at the 28 of Michigan. Wakefield split left, and the handoff is given off to Galbos, and he runs it over the 25 down to about the 23-yard line.
Tom, I was going to mention that no need to introduce the Michigan defense man by man because they'll all be in on the first two tackles anyhow. And
we just into the ball game. They're working out of the I formation. Wide man to the left side as on the fake. Lemke gives it off to the first man through, and it looks as though he is stopped short of a first down by Tom Beckman. It was Elmer Lippert. Now it looks as though they may have to measure. So they've got everybody back there. As Don Lemke calling the signals at quarterback, he gives it off to Randy Keefe, and Randy Keefe pulls his way up. It looks as though he's got a first down. He has to the 17 of Michigan. Got by Keller and Taylor for the Wolverines. Linebackers for Michigan again.
Series, Tom, all season long.
That they have. Greg Ellis back in there at middle guard now for Michigan. Again, they're running out of a straight tee for the Buckeyes on 1st and 10 at the Michigan 17-yard line. And there's a mix-up as it's given to Keith. He fumbles, and Michigan, I believe, is recovered. Michigan has the football. Well, you were talking about the big play. Over at their own 17-yard line. They're working out of the wishbone tee. Rather is split wide to the right side. The handoff is given to Shuttlesworth, and the big fella pulls his way up to the 20-yard line, pushed back by the middle of that Ohio State line, led by linebacker Stan White.
You know something that's important to mention early in the ball game, Tom, and that is
well, it's 2nd and 7 for Michigan. They're at their own 20-yard line. They have an I formation strong right. The pitch out goes to Taylor around that right side. Gets a good block from Grandadder. He moves up over the 25 to the 30, and he's run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Ed Shuttlesworth also out on a devastating block that time, cutting down 2 men before Rick Seifert came back to knock Taylor out of bounds. 1st and 10 to go for Michigan at the 30 tackle. Rather is split to the right side. And the handoff is given to Shuttlesworth, a big hole up the middle, and Shuttlesworth rambles up to about the 41-yard line.
pulled down by Dan Cotillo and Stan White. Gainer. Second down and 4 yards to go. Both ends are tight. They're in the I, strong left. Handoff is given off to Shuttlesworth, and he blows his way up to about the 44-yard line. He's going to be a little short of a first down, it looks like, from here. George Hassanall made the tackle again for Ohio State. Shuttlesworth came into this ball game. Big Ed. Slade waiting for the snap. Turns, pitches back to Taylor instead, and he cuts back to the 45, puts his head down, and he's got a first down to the 46-yard line, and he ran into Stan White. Stan White, you might recall, had a key interception in that game against Michigan last year that set up a clinching touchdown for the 9 minutes to go in this first quarter. Michigan so far hasn't been out of its own side of the field as the pitch out this time to Taylor around the left side, and he is pulled down from behind at the 50-yard line by Vic Hagel, the middle guard. Middle guard, one of the places that Ohio State has been decimated this year. Their starter, Kevin Fletcher. Second down and 8 yards to go. Strong left, working out of the I formation. A flag goes down. We may get a delay of game penalty here called against Michigan, because Michigan can't throw the ball. So now it's second down and 13, as you mentioned, and the handoff is given to Shuttlesworth. He runs straight ahead, and again, it's big Stan White there to meet him for Ohio State at the 47-yard line of Michigan, along with Rick Seifert. Stan White had the most tackles last year of any Ohio State defensive. Wishbone. Sipper fakes to Shuttlesworth around the right side. He's being chased by 3 Buckeyes, and he's hauled down about the line of scrimmage. Stan White, George Hassanall, Randy Grandishar over there to chase him down at the 48. No get in Campana. Ohio State's been averaging 9 yards. Here comes Dotsauer's kick. It's a short one this time. Hits on the 20. Campana picks it up at the 15, straight up the field to the 20, but he's not going to get away this time. And he's pulled down at the 23-yard line. Coyle, the first down to reach him along with Jim Brandstatter for Michigan. So it'll be at the 24 of Ohio State, first and 10 for the Buckeyes. 37-yard punt that time and an 8-yard run back. Lined up in the I formation. They have 2 wide receivers to the right side. Going back as Lamb to the pass, he fires a desperation pass upfield, and it is incomplete. Both Darden and Elliott went up in the air for the ball. I think either one of them could caught it, but they ran into each other and the ball dropped. Butch Carpenter put the heat on the Ohio State quarterback of the same name. He's the leading receiver on this Ohio State team as Lamke gives it off to the first man through, Dick Galbus, and he doesn't go anywhere as he is stacked up for the right side of that Michigan line, along with middle linebacker Mike Taylor. Tom Beckman also in on the charge. Ohio State's favorite zone. On 3rd and 9, they give it off, and they're off right to Galbus, and again he is hit after a yard gain of the 26-yard line by Taylor and Key, the linebackers. State will be punting. Darden and Elliott both back, and here's Lago's kick coming down to Darden at the 35-yard line, comes up the sidelines to 40, and he is hit and dropped at the 42-yard line. Jim Crago, left guard, first down to meet him for the Buckeyes. And Michigan will put it in play now at the 42 of the Wolverines, or the Power Eye to the right side. Sippa still running the team at quarterback, and he gives it off to Shuttlesworth, and he moves up to the 45-yard line where he is stacked up. First of all by Dan Cotillo, the right side tackle on defense for Ohio. Been thrown tight too much in the past few weeks. From the wishbone again, this time it's Olden split to the right side, and Sippa gives it off to Taylor, and Taylor's off the left, or rather it's Glenn Dowdy, and he's off the left side, and it looks as though he's close to a first down at the 48-yard line of Ohio State. Stopped by Rich Capel, filling in for behind Larry Sippa, running the team at quarterback now after an injury to Tom Slade. The handoff is given off to Shuttlesworth. He's got a first down as he plows his way up close to the 45-yard line, stacked up in the middle of that Ohio State defense, led by the safety man, Rick Seifert, who has a rather unusual hobby in that he collects Cincinnati sophomore. He turns and pitches out to Dowdy, cuts back at the 45, swings wide to the sidelines to the 40. He's bumped out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. What a move by Dowdy. Inside, he took everybody with him and then simply cut very, very quickly to the outside. And it's got to be a little slippery on that turf down there. This time he's lined up on the left side of the wing, on the power I left side. Mike Oldham is split to the left side, and the ball is given off to Shuttlesworth, and he simply hurdles his way over the middle of that line, down to about the 33-yard line. He's got another first down for Michigan. Randy Grandishaw, the linebacker, making the stop on first down and 10 yards to go. The ball resting at the 33-yard line of Ohio State in possession of Michigan. On the counter play, they give it off to Taylor on the left side. He finds a little bit of a hole, and he's worked it down to the 28-yard line. Ken Lutner, defensive end on the right side, making the tackle for the Buckeyes.
To mention, too, we mentioned the kicking game for Ohio being...
Oldham is split wide to the right side on 2nd and 5 at the 20 of Ohio State. The ball this time is given off to Glenn Dowdy around the left side, and Dowdy is pulled down by 3 Buckeyes, led by Randy Grandishaw at the 25-yard line. Great faking again by Larry Sippa. 2 yards to go. All right, strong right side, both ends are tight. Pitch out goes to Taylor around the left side of the 25. He puts his head down. He's close to a first down. Depending on where they marked his point of furthest advance, Vic Cagle was over there on the stop for Ohio State.
Gee, I'd be remiss if I didn't correct myself right now. Of course, Jackson.
Larry Sippa has a straight tee in the backfield for the first time for Michigan. And the handoff is given to Shuttlesworth, and he's off the right side, and boy, it's going to be close. He was pushed back in there by the left side of that Ohio State line, led by the linebacker Randy Grandishaw and Mike Channel, and they say he did not make the first down.
Well, it's officially the Michigan-Ohio State game right there. What a tremendous play by the Buckeyes. They stacked in on Shuttlesworth, and he just struggled. He was just inches short of the first down, but a super defensive effort. Boy, you can't come up with any finer.
23-yard line, or just over the 23-yard line. Lamke gives it off to Galvin, finds a hole over the left side. He's pulled down by Logan and Taylor. And there was a fumble, but I believe it occurred after the whistle had blown. Or if you just joined us. Lamke gives it off to Elmer Lippert, and Lippert, a little scat back from Sandusky, moves up close to the 30-yard line where Ellis put the stop on him. Big third down and 4, and back to Pascal. He fires a sideliner, and it is caught by Wakefield. He goes out of bounds at the 46 of Ohio State. That's the first down for the Bucs.
Well thrown ball, Wakefield. That it was. A good combination all the way.
Receiver for Ohio State. He's out to the left side as the handoff is given off to Lippert, and this time he's stacked at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for maybe a yard. Mike Keller was able to bust through there from his defensive end to make it coming wide the left side, working out of the eye. Lamke gives it off to the tailback, Lippert, and he is stopped after a gain of 2 up to the 49-yard line. Key, Taylor, Gussie all in on the stop for Michigan. And when you say stop, that is the most... Tom Hemingway and Dave McKay back here at Michigan Stadium in a scoreless tie after 1 quarter between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Wolverines of Michigan. 3rd and 7 for Ohio State at their own 48. Back to Pascal, Lamke down the middle it goes. It's caught by Wakefield. He had Keller with him, and a pass completed to him to the outside, and a flag was thrown. It could be. If it is pass interference against Michigan, and that appears to be the call, it would give Ohio State a first down. Batista wide to the right side, but the handoff is given off to Rick Galvis, the co-captain from Mentor, Ohio, and he runs straight up the middle, down over the 45 to about the 44-yard line. Stacked up again by the middle of that line to the right side, 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Lamke gives it off to the first man through, Rick Galvis, and he doesn't find any running room. He runs into Carpenter or Grambo, left side, end and tackle respective. Batista splits wide to the right side. The setbacks are split as Lamke goes back to pass, fires in it, it is caught, and dropped immediately as Rick Galvis at the 43-yard line, way short of a first down. Coming up to make that tackle was Frank. 5-yard line, Elliott and Darden are deep. High pass from center, Lego pulls it down, gets his punt away. It's a high sailing kick. Elliott calls for a fair catch, but he'll let it go, and it bounces into the end zone. Touchback for Michigan, they'll bring it out to the 20. And as we have a moment, let's pause. 10 seconds for station identification. This is the University of Michigan Broadcasting Service. Score in the ball game,
two tight ends for Michigan. Strong to the right side of the power I. The handoff goes to Shuttlesworth, and he goes up the middle for maybe a couple. Tom, before that punt situation fades in memory too quickly here, Elliott did a fine job standing at about the two-bone with Holden split wide to the right side. Larry Sippa fakes to Shuttlesworth, gives it off to Dowdy, and he finds a hole over the left side. He's up to about the 26-yard line where he is pulled down by Carl Kern, and they're playing at a safety position now.
Incidentally, Kern is no relation to Rex Kern.
It's 3rd and 4 for Michigan. Powell left side. They've split Oldham to that side, and there goes Miller around the left side. He is hit and falls forward close to the 30. Fumbles, and Ohio State has it. I think it was Rick Seifert who came up with a football for the Buckeyes after Taylor was wrapped going around that left side, and so Ohio State. Both Batista and Wakefield are split to the left side, working out of the I formation. It's given off to the first man with Galvis, and he finds the running room rugged as he is hit at the 29. Actually, a loss of one. Randy Logan split the setbacks as the handoff is fake. Lanta is going back to pass, fires it down the middle, and it is incomplete. Intended for the tight end. At the 29 of Michigan. Ohio State in a passing situation, and Lanta is going back to throw. Fires a sideliner to Galvos. He's got it at 28, goes to 25. He's pulled down at the 21-yard line, short of a first down by Greg Ellis and Mike Taylor. Lanta, as we mentioned before the game, does not go to the air that much to this win from about 37 yards out. And his kick is up, and it is good. Off to the left. So once again, the Michigan defense has stiffened. And stopping the Ohio State Buckeyes after a fumble gave the Bucks the ball 1st and 10 at the Michigan 28-yard. That's from up here. On the first play from scrimmage, it pitched back to Dowdy. He comes up to the 23-yard line, banged down to the 24. Mike Hoban is checked in there for Reggie McKenzie at a guard position. They're working on Reggie's field right now. From the wishbone tee on 2nd and 6. Slade on the option play. Pitches back to Taylor around the right side. Goes to 25. He's pulled down from behind at the 40. Looks as though he's got a first down. Stan White moving over there to knock Taylor down, but it looks as though from here he's got a first down. Boy, a tough play by Sheck-In, and he came back out again. They're still working on that helmet. 1st and 10. Rather wide to the left side, but they give it off to the fullback Shuttlesworth. Up he comes over the 35 and the 37-yard line. Running well off that left side between Murdoch and Mike Hoban, who's in there at the guard position now. Again, it's the wishbone team for Michigan. As Slade gives it off to Taylor, he plows his way over the right side, and again he's close to a first down at the 42-yard line. Tom Coyle, Jim Brandstetter. McKenzie's helmet's okay, and they give it off to Shuttlesworth. A big hole over the right side, and Shuttlesworth is into Ohio State territory where he's tripped up by White at the 48-yard line of the Buckeyes.
There's no question about it.
We've only got about 6 inches to go for the first down, and it's Taylor on the call. A big hole over the right side. He's down to the 40, the 35, and he was pulled down from behind by Carl Kern. Again, just when it looked as though Taylor might be off to the races. But that's another first down for Michigan at the 35 of the Buckeyes. Their 7th first down of the afternoon.
Bone working behind Slade as the handoff is given to Taylor. Bounces off one man at the line of scrimmage and falls down to the 33-yard line. A gain of a couple.
7 minutes to go in the second quarter. The handoff is faked by Slade. Pitches back to Dowdy around the left side. Turns at the 30, and he is muscled out of bounds at about the 29-yard line by Stan White. Billy Taylor out there trying to give him a little bit of escort at the 29 of Ohio State. Tom Slade back running the team at quarterback. Pitches back to Dowdy. Heads around the left side to the 30 to 25, and he's pushed out of bounds. He's got a first down at the 22 of the Bucks. Again, it's Rick Seifert coming over there to bump him out. And Michigan, which early in the ball game,
expect anything else. This time to take to Shuttlesworth, give it to Dowdy. He stopped short of a first down at the 14-yard line. And now we've got a big play coming up. It'll be 4th and about 2. As Slade kneels. Coyne, the hero of last Saturday's ball game against Purdue, gets his foot into the ball. The ball goes up and through. Dana Coyne has given Michigan a 3-0 lead with 5:19 to go in this second quarter. Dana Coyne now with 7 field goals out of 12 tries this year. And now 74 points to his credit. Well, that drive of Michigan started on their own 20-yard line. And they moved it in 13 plays down until the Buckeye defense again was equal to the task of Dana Coyne. Here's Morris Bradshaw. He's got it to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and he is spilled at the 25-yard line. Jeff Stager and a couple of Michigan players seem to be shaken up on that play. Stager getting to his feet slowly, and there's another Michigan man down. Looks like Randy Logan from here, Tom. Can't be on defense. Ohio State puts it in play, 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Don Lamka turns, keeps it himself, now pitches out wide, and stopped at the line of scrimmage by Dave Elliott was Rick Galbus. No gain on the play. In fact, he might have splitting Batista to the left side. The setbacks are split. The handoff is faked. As back to pass goes Lamka. Fires a long one down the middle for Batista. It's intercepted by Garden at the 50. He's back to the 45. Stops at the 40. Spins free, and he's knocked down at the 38-yard line. Tom Nixon was down there to make the stop on Tom Garden. Third interception by Darden this year as the pitch out goes back to Dowdy as the flags go down. Dowdy is down to the 32-yard line of Ohio State, but let's check out the flags.
Looked definitely like a motion penalty against Michigan, Tom. That's exactly what it was. One of the backs jumped off just a split second before the...
Tom Slade shaken up early in the game, back in, running the team at quarterback, and back to pass he goes on first down, fires a long one for Rather. He's got it, he's pulled down at the 18-yard line. Tom Campana back to make the stop.
Buckeye defense. They haven't been strong at all this afternoon with the exception of that field goal.
That was Slade's first pass of the afternoon. The pitch out goes to Dowdy around the left side, turns the corner to the 20. He's hit at the 15. He falls forward and out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Hit by Kern, first of all, and then driven out by Stan White.
And actually only a super effort by Dowdy that time got him any yardage at all, Tom. That Buckeye defense closes very
good pass, and we have to. At the 13-yard line, the handoff is given off to Dowdy. He finds a hole off the left side, and he slants his way down inside the 10 to about the 9. And that looks like another first down for Michigan, and it is. First and goal to go inside. Tom Slade with a power eye. Both ends are tight. They're strong to the right side, running from the left side, and they're going around. Billy Taylor fumbles the football, and is picked up by Ohio State. Harry Howard jumped on that football as Taylor failed to come up with that wide pitch out from Tom Slade. And for the second time, Michigan gives up the football to the Buckeyes.
Now, just to show you the quality now of this Michigan offense, I can't go into it too many times here. It'll be a bore, but instead of running right out on the field after that fumble recovery by Ohio, they stayed on the sideline, regrouped just a minute longer with their defensive coordinator.
Has gone to the air more and more lately. He's got a straight tee in the backfield this time with both ends tight, and the handoff is given off to the left halfback, Elmer Lippert, and he is stopped standing up at about the line of scrimmage by Fred Grambo and Tom Key. And about 9. Again, the straight tee in the backfield, and this time it's faked by Lamka, and the option, he gives it off to the fullback now, running around the left side up to about the 14-yard line. Comes Rick Galbus, where he runs into Tom Key.
You know, something that has surprised the other, and I would be more apt to think they'd go there.
3rd and 6. This time Lamka gives it off to his fullback, Galbus, and again he doesn't find much room to go. He's backed up in the middle of that line, right at the line of scrimmage. Gusick and Gallagher, the first to reach him. For sure. He is one disgusted player right now. Here comes Dick Lago. Into the ball, a high punt. Coming down, Bruce Elliott at the 38-yard line. Running behind Dart. Cut back to midfield, and he's got the 44 of Michigan. Jim Craigle again, first down to reach it for the Buckeyes. And the clock now shows just a minute and 29 seconds remaining in this first half. Michigan leading 3-0.
Well, Elliott played it smart that time. He was almost going to gamble, I think.
6-yard punt that time by Lago. Slade on the draw, gives it off to Taylor, and he is hit at the 45, rolls forward to the 49-yard line. Bounced off one Buckeye, ran into Harry Howard, and now Michigan has called a timeout to stop the clock. So there's a timeout on the field with a score of Michigan 3, Ohio State 0. They're working out of the I formation. The pitch out goes to Taylor around the left side of the 45. At the 50, pulled down from behind at the Ohio State 49-yard line by Lutner and Kern.
Again, the Buckeyes defending that sweep.
Well, 2 plays in the huddle now, going right back to the line of scrimmage, and here's a pass thrown out of bounds, and a flag goes down. Dowdy trying to get to the football. Looks as though he might have been pushed by Kern and Randy Grandishar. And it is an interference call. So sure the Slade wasn't throwing just to stop the clock.
Right.
This time 3 wide receivers, back to pass goes Slade. He arches a long one down here intended for Dowdy. He can't catch up to it at the 5-yard line. Kern and Cagle were both back covering on that play.
The Michigan spotters upstairs there, they've got to be...
Big Ed Shuttlesworth and Taylor lined up in the I formation. And here's a flag for delay of game. Going to be called against Michigan. And that's going to move it back, I believe, probably to the Michigan side of the 50-yard line. Nope, just the Ohio State side of the 50-yard line. Last week, Purdue, of course, as you know, keyed a great deal on Billy Taylor, and they held him on. This time, Slade gives it off to Shuttlesworth, and he puts his head down and drives close to the 45-yard line of Ohio State, about where the line of scrimmage was. Pass and all, Cagle. Single setback this time is Shuttlesworth. Is back to pass goes Slade. He fires along when the flag is down. Rather can't catch it at the 20-yard line. He had it in his hand and it slithered away from him. But a flag was thrown upfield.
Rather still on the ground, Tom. He was really scissored out there by Ohio State, hit by 3 Buckeyes. He has superb punt coverage now.
He took it 50 yards on the first. Oh, high pass from center, but Dotsauer gets it down and he gets it away. It's a short kick, and Campana is going to let it roll, and it takes it into the end zone. Dowdy trying to knock it out as he spun into the end zone, and now, as we have a moment, let's quickly pause 10 seconds for station identification. And they've got only 19 seconds to work with, and Lamka just falls with a football to the ground. He didn't risk any handoff there.
Tom, why bother at this point? You're exhausted. You can't really do anything that well when you're deep in your own territory. The only thing you could do stupidly is fumble a football. So Lamka doing a very smart thing there and running the clock out.
And with that play, the first half comes to an end. With the score, Michigan 3, Ohio State 0. A 3-man rushing attack. Shuttlesworth and Dowdy both had 57. So that's almost splitting it right down the middle for 3 players. Dana Coyne all set to get this third quarter underway now, as here he comes into the football, and we've got a high kick coming down to Bradshaw right at the 5-yard line, up to the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Swings wide, trying to get away, and he is hit on a bruising tackle by Dave Elliott at the 20-yard line, where the Bucks will put it in play, 1st and 10. Now,
if Elliott or Logan comes back in, it is Randy Logan returning to the Michigan defensive backfield, so that's good news. He was shaken up in that wishbone tee in the backfield for the Buckeyes. The quarterback is Don Lamka. He gives it to the fullback who fumbles, and now let's wait as they unpile. That ball at the 21-yard line, it looked as though the Buckeyes have it themselves. Split man to the right side is Tom Batista. The handoff is faked by Lamka. Pitches back deep to Bradshaw, and he is tripped up back at the 17-yard line by Randy Logan. Tom Batista, junior from Detroit. He'll be back again next year. Lamka on the draw, gives it off to Randy Keith. He finds a big hole over the middle. He's up over the 20, the 25, to the 30-yard line, where he is knocked down by Tom Garden, and it's a first down for the Buckeyes. He carried the mail that time when they needed it, and now Ohio State a little unsettled on offense, so Lamka's going to call a timeout. So there is a timeout on the field with a score. Michigan 3, Ohio State nothing. All set to go. 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes from the wishbone tee. It's given off to the fullback, Keith. He spins his way up to about the 34-yard line. Knocking him off stride was Mike Taylor, and applying the crusher was Randy Logan and Mike Keller. Second down and 6. Lamka throws it back to his tailback coming around, Elmer Lippert, and he is knocked down short of a first down at about the 37-yard line. A lot of blocking out in front over there, but Frank Graham Saturday of the season. That's right, and certainly one of the most dramatic. Again, the pitch out to Lippert around the left side. He is pulled down from behind. Short of a first down at the 39-yard line, again by Randy Logan, who seems to have successfully shaken off his injury in that second quarter. Will be punting now. High pass from center. Again, he drags it down. Michigan not rushing, as the punt return is not on, as the free catch called for by Bruce Elliott at the 25-yard line, where Michigan will take it for the first time in the second half. 1st and 10. And there we notice that Larry Sippa is running the team at quarterback. 1st and 10 from his own 25. He's got the wishbone tee behind him. Pitches out to Dowdy around the left side. Turns the corner at the 25, comes up to the 30, and he is racked up first by Carl Kern right at the 30-yard line. He was quickly joined by Dan Cotillo. Second down and 5 yards to go. Again, the Wolverines in the wishbone, and it is faked to the first man through, given to Dowdy, and he scampers his way up close to the 35-yard line, which would be a first down. Seifert tripped him up. Now we'll watch to see, and it is a first down for Michigan. Larry Sipper asked him to keep it down just a little bit as the handoff is given to Shuttlesworth, and he is hit after a yard gain to the 36-yard line on a great driving tackle by the middle guard of the Buckeyes, Vic Cagle. He was all game, and Larry Sipper on the fake keeps it himself, rolls around the right side of the 40 to the 45. He's up to the 50s in Ohio State territory at the 49-yard line. Dragged down by Carl Kern and Randy Grandichard. Beautiful faking by Larry Sipper, faking to Shuttlesworth off the back in, but Sipper is starting the third. Pitch out to Taylor around the right side of the 50, the 45. He's pulled down. And the sun is with us for the first time this afternoon, and that's the reason for the game this afternoon. Wishbone tee. Sipper gives it to Dowdy, and he is hit on a bruising tackle at the line of scrimmage by Cagle and Grandichard. They had that play diagnosed. They time to loosen it up. It's rather to the left side out of the I formation. Sipper is going back to pass, gets some time to throw, throws it down the middle, and he got it and then dropped it. At the 33-yard line, Paul Seymour had it and it slid it away from him. As he was falling, I believe we could see that football, although as Dave mentioned, it has diminished quite a bit from the early stages of the game. He rides a beauty out of there. Fair catch called for, but the ball hitting the into the end zone as Campana called for the fair catch, but the kick sailed well over his head and into the end zone. A 45-yard boot, and now Ohio State will put it in play at their own 20. Time for the second time in a row we mentioned before, replacing Mike Keller, who was injured early in this third quarter. The handoff is given to the fullback Rick Galbus up the middle to about the 22-yard line. Tom Beckman, the first to meet him, joined by Greg Ellis. Second down and 8 yards to go. The wishbone tee for the Buckeyes. Lamka turns, keeps it himself, rolls up off the left side, and he's got about 4 maybe to the 26-yard line, where he was hit by Fred Grambo, the junior from Hassanique. Ohio State sending Jimmy Harris wide to the left side for the first time as they give it off to Galbus again on the belly series, and Galbus is short of a first down at the 28-yard line where Beckman and Key hit him. Jimmy Harris, the fastest man on this Ohio State team, has not been used as a flanker very much this evening, waiting for that big break. Darden and Elliott are deep at the 35 as Gary Lago gets his punt away. This is a spinning kick, comes down to Elliott at the 38, and he's pulled down immediately. Down there quickly to make the tackle was Morris Bradshaw. Halftime score, Northwestern 21, Michigan State nothing. The Wildcats conceivably could finish in second place, which would be their best quarterback. I believe Tom Slade has returned to the lineup, or is it Larry Sipper? Yeah, we'll have to check it as he turns around. It is Sipper. They give it off to the second man through, Glenn Dowdy, and Dowdy has a tough 3 yards up to about the 42-yard line, running off his own left side, stopped by the right side of that Ohio State forward wall, Vic Cagle, rather than waiting till third. From the wishbone, it is faked by Sippa on the option play around the right side. He keeps it himself, and he is hit from the side. Knocked down at the 43-yard line by Rich Capel. Clock shows 5:30 to go in this third quarter. 2 wide receivers. Dowdy split right, rather left, back to Pasco. Sippa looking to the sideline, fires it, and you had it. They tried to swing it out to Taylor, but it was thrown just a little low, and Taylor couldn't catch up with it. First period score, Illinois 8, Iowa nothing. As Barry Dapsauer will be punting from his own 35-yard line, he rides a high one out of there. Again, it's a beauty. Campana fields it at the 11th and straight up the field to the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30. This guy can go to the 40, the 45, the 50. Dowdy's the only one back there, and he knocks him out of bounds at the Michigan 39-yard line. There is a flag back up the field. Hold everything.
Tom, I saw that one coming. Reggie McKenzie was clipped very, very badly downfield. It was just too obvious. Reggie stood right there. He's talking to the referee right now. I saw that occur, and I saw the flag. The referee was about 2 seconds late getting the flag out of his pocket. You were too busy watching Campana. He's a great runner, and that was actually a very, very November, and you're looking right into it. From the wishbone, it's kept by Zamka, and he isn't going anywhere. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Butch Carpenter fell on him. Second down, still 10, and this time it's given off to the left halfback, Elmer Lippert, and he had maybe a couple up to the 12-yard line. Running straight ahead on a quick opener off the left side so far in this ball game. Again, it's the wishbone, and this time Lamka keeps it. He's going to run with the ball himself. He comes over the 15 to the 16-yard line, but again, that is way short of a first down. Pulled down by Tom Key and Mike Taylor. Now they'll have to settle this one down and get it away because Michigan can put on a rush. Good snap this time to Lagos, and it's a bad kick, a good kick off to the right, and will go out of bounds at about the Ohio State 35-yard line. I think that Lago was a little bit worried about that Michigan rush that you spoke of, as they had both ends streaming in there. He may have took his eye off the football just for a moment. And in that time, he split one off to the right. Snap and blew it. 17-yard punt. Here's Sippa's pitch out to Dowdy around the left side. He's tripped up at the 35-yard line by Ken Lupner. He fell each occasion, so we'll see what they do now. Well, Sippa's going back to put the ball in the air. He fires it, and it is incomplete. Almost a diving reception by Bo Rather down at the 10-yard line. The crowd roars. They thought maybe Rather might have been interfered with by Rick Seifert, but... And joining him out there in the slot is Glenn Dowdy as Sippa is back to pass. He's looking to Oldham. He fires a long one for Oldham. He falls down, and the flag goes down at the 5-yard line. Let's see who it's against. Remember, it could be on either Oldham or Ohio State. And I believe that they're going to tag it against Mike Oldham. Interference, so it's 4th and long yardage, and Barry Dapsauer will be punting for the Wolverines. He just gets it away as he spun that one up over Charlie Beecroft. It's fielded by Tom Campana back to the 15, to the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40. He may be gone. He's got Dapsauer to beat, and he's around him to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. He's going in. Touchdown, Ohio State. Portion of this 104,000 are going slightly berserk over on the far side as Tom Campana fielding that punt. Back on about the... We've had a try for the extra point now by Fred Schramm. It was good. However, Ohio State guilty of illegal procedure, which means they will have to do it again. Now Ohio State can go on top. 7-3 should Schramm
boot it through once again. This time it is up. And it is good. The clock shows 2:07 remaining in this third quarter, and the Buckeyes have taken a 7-3 lead over the Wolverines. The Wolverines, who have been able to move the football this afternoon until they get inside that Ohio State fourth quarter, and they're going to need it today. This is a fighting, mad, tough Ohio State team. And here comes the kickoff by Stan White. It's a high kick, fielded by Bo Rather back on the 12. Comes up the field to the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 28-yard line. He fielded it on the 8. I said the 12. So Michigan will have it first and 10. And let's see where they spot it. At the 20, well, about the 28-yard line. Carl Kern made the stop on Bo Rather. Over 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Power eye the left side, both ends are tight. As Larry Sippa gives it off to Fritz Seifert, and Seifert is up to about the 32-yard line, where he is hauled down by 3 or 4 Buckeyes. First in on the tackle was White. He was joined by Cagle and Grant. Power eye strong to the right side. Second down and 6 yards to go with both ends tight. Sippa pitches out to Taylor on the left side. The short side comes to the 30, the 35, and he is belted by Randy Grandishar at the 35-yard line. That'll be short of a first down. Getting up slowly, Jim Coote, who has sat out. Third down and 4 yards to go, and Sippa is rolling to the left side. He's going to fire it, and it is overthrown, intended for Mike Oldham.
Looked as if that ball was tipped.
Could have been, Dave.
Sippa threw it. I couldn't quite catch it. And that would really change this ball game completely around.
So Dotsar will be punting, and he really rides a beauty out of there this time. Driving Campana back to the 12-yard line. Back to the 15 he comes, to the 20, to the 25, and that's all he's going to get this time. He was pulled down by Billy Taylor, who got down there to make sure that he wasn't going to take one back this time.
Tom, if Michigan can contain Ohio right now in the first 3 plays of this series, boy, you've got to look. We'll see what they can do right now.
53-yard punt by Dotsar that time. High formation for the Buckeyes. First and 10. They're placing it at their own 26-yard line. Pitch out goes to Lippert. Skirts one man, dives over another, and he's up to about the 30-yard line. Garden and Logan coming over to make the stop for Michigan, and the clock shows 20 seconds to go, and it's running. They may not get another play underway here in this third quarter. You look at the statistics, and they're completely overbalanced for Michigan. You look at the scoreboard, and it's the other story. Ohio State leading. All set for fourth quarter action now. The flag goes down in the first play from scrimmage as they give it off to Galbos around the right side, but a flag was thrown at the line of scrimmage. It would have been the 30-yard line. Buckeyes had it second and 6. Illegal procedure call against the Buckeyes. To the left side is the only wide man. From the eye, Lamka goes back and gives it off on the draw to the tailback, and Galbos is stacked at the 33, 34-yard line by Key and Beckman.
Of the afternoon, and Ohio will have to kick it away now.
Here's Gary Lago. Gets his punt away, and he just gets it away, and a flag goes down as Lago was hit by Eaton. Fair catch called for by Tom Darden, but Lago was brushed by Eaton as he went by him. And roughing the kicker is going to be called against Michigan, and that will give the Buckeyes a first down and a big break here. To the left side, Galbos and Leopard are lined up in the eye. It goes to Galbos, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Fred Grambo the first to reach him. Tom Beckman there. Well, it's Michigan. Second down and about 9. And Lamka gives it off in a draw play to his tailback Leopard, and he doesn't find anywhere to go. He is hit at the 50-yard line by an angry swarm of Wolverines. Now, Ohio State leading 7-3. Lamka on 3rd and 9. Let's see if he goes to the air. He gives it off in a draw play to Galbos, and Michigan stops him at the 47-yard line. Greg Ellis and Fred Grambo smelled that one coming and were there to make the tackle. Fred Grambo has played himself Michigan State new life, and they went in for a touchdown. This time, not much of a rush on as Lago going for the coffin corner rides one out, but a fair catch called for by Elliott. down on about the 9-yard line of Michigan. So they're going to be backed into their territory to start this drive.
When Elliott fielded that punt, there were about 5 Buckeyes right around him, ready to cover any kind of a fumble situation. So they're right in this ball game very much. And
on Tom Sling. Powell, strong to the left side. Sippa turns and gives it off to Billy Taylor. He's hauled down from behind after he moved up to about the 13-yard line. Grandishaw, the first to reaching for the Buckeyes. And this just into the fourth quarter as Sipper pitches out to Dowdy around the short side of the 15. And he's up and knocked out of bounds at about the 20, and that would be enough for a first down. Chase to set up in the wishbone tee. And the handoff is given to Fritz Seifert, and the senior from Darien, Connecticut, drives forward up to about the 24-yard line. Seifert and White in on to the right side on 2nd and 5. It's kept on the option by Sipper around the right side. He pitches back to Taylor at the 30, and he's pulled down up to the 34-yard line, and a flag is thrown as 2 other Buckeyes pile down. The initial stop was made by Ken Lettner. 2 other Buckeyes came over and jumped down, and that is going to cost us 15 yards up to the 50. Split wide to the left side, 1st and 10. The ball is given to the fullback Seifert. He finds a little bit of a hole up the middle, and he's down to about the 48 of Ohio State. And he's running now to the wishbone tee, 2nd and 8. The pitch out goes to Taylor on the right side, and he is hit on a great tackle at the 50-yard line. Randy Grandishaw came over there, ends, and the flanker is Rather. And Sipper is going to put the ball in the air. It's back to pass he goes. He floats one down the middle, and Seifert couldn't come up with it. He almost had a one-handed reception at the 42, which still would have been short of a first down. As they threw to the short man coming out of the back down there and put the Buckeyes deep. He'll be punting from his own 40. Low pass from center, but Barry gets it away. Hits on the 10, goes to the 5, and it's going to make it into the end zone. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line to put it in play, 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes. And time now shows 9:33 remaining in this ball. It's the I formation for Ohio State as Don Lamka gives off to, fakes it around the bootleg, fires it upfield to Wakefield. He's got it, and he's out of bounds at the 30. Great faking by Don Lamka. He put that ball on his hip, slid around the right side, fired to Wakefield, who was wide open at the 30-yard line where he went out of bounds. Needless to say, needing just a couple of inches for the first down. They give it off to the fullback, Randy Keefe, and he's got a first down up to about the 32 before he is thrown back by 5 Wolverines. That pass play now on first down. Flanking to the left side of the I formation behind Lamka, and he gives it off to the tailback in the draw. No, keeps it himself around the left side, and he is knocked spinning at the 34-yard line. Another great fake by Lamka. Mike Taylor was over to make the stop along with Butch Carpenter. Well, they used to say that Rutch Kern won a lot this afternoon when he's been back there deep. 2nd and 8. The handoff is fake. This time Lamka keeps it, and he goes nowhere. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage by Taylor. Now, quickly, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the University of Michigan Broadcasting Service.
Effective for Michigan this afternoon.
Well, they're going to give it off to the right halfback, Bradshaw, who comes up to about the 40-yard line, which would be short of a first down. And Frank Gussick was over there to make the stop.
And the punter is much deeper.
Lago standing at his 30. Gets his punt away. It's a high kick, not too far this time, and a fair catch called for by Bruce Elliott right at the 28-yard line. And I'll tell you, that took a little bit of intestinal fortitude to grab that ball with 4 or 5 Buckeyes standing around him.
That it did, Tom. He has handled that ball completely with authority this afternoon. Very clean.
Seen Slade in the second half. From the I formation, Sippett takes the snap and pitches out to Taylor around the left side. Cuts for 25, comes back to the 30, and he is upended at the 31-yard line by Harry Howard. The clock now shows less than 7 minutes to go. Michigan trailing Ohio State 7-3.
The Michigan
wishbone with Bo Rather split to the right side. Sipper fakes to the first man, fakes to the second, back to pass he goes, arches a long one down here for Seymour, and he can't catch up to it.
Seymour was in the open at the 35-yard line of Ohio State and couldn't come up with a football, just a little over his outstretched hand. And you talk about faking.
But might be something we look for here now.
Oldham's wide to the right, down to the left. They give it off in the draw to Taylor, and he squirms up to the 40-yard line or the 39, and it's going to be very close to a first down. From here, I'd say he's got it.
Let's put it this way, Tom. It's close enough to gamble.
Yes, it is. And strong to the right side. Fritz Seifert sticking in there at fullback along with tailback Billy Taylor, and it's pitched out to Taylor. He looks at the line, comes back to the 40, puts his head down, and drives up to about the 43-yard line, following Jim Coody and Reggie McKenzie. They'll throw it in at the 43-yard line. Both ends are tight. Power eye strong to the right side. They give it off to Seifert, and Seifert bangs his way up to about the 45-yard line. That'll make it 3rd and 4. Grandishar and Hassenhall. Indiana. Again, 4:50 remaining in the ball game. Sippa fakes the draw. Back to pass he goes. Looking downfield. He fires it for Rather. He's got it at the 40 of Ohio State. Turns upfield to the 35. He's knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line by Seifert. Give Larry Sippa about 2 bushels and a half worth of credit right there at Wishbone Feed. The handoff is faked by Sipper around the right side. He's going to keep it and go to the 35. He stiff arms one man, and he's knocked down at the 30-yard line. Seifert again coming over to make the stop on Seifert. Now on Sipper. Remember, of course, in the fourth quarter, Michigan's main strength has been your own question as to why he has not been in before. On 2nd and 7, it's given off to Billy Taylor, and he squirms down to about the 28-yard line. Clock running, and we now have under 4 minutes to go. To its feet, 104,000 strong out of the I formation. Larry Sippa barking out the signals, pitches deep to Taylor, cuts around the left side. He gets away from one man, goes down to the 25. He's close to the 23-yard line and close to a first down. Stan White was over to meet him for Ohio State. And now let's see if we're going to need another measurement. Seifert is back in. Shuttlesworth is out. Sippert waiting for the snap from center. Takes it, gives it off to Seifert. He's got a first down to the 21-yard line. First and 10 for Michigan.
Now they stop the clock to reset the chain. 2:34 remaining in the ball game, and of course that
are lined up in the I behind Sippa. Who's ready for the snap. He takes it on the option play, heads down the line of scrimmage, pitches back to Taylor on the right side of the 20. He's got blocking out front of the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Michigan! They're mobbing Billy Taylor. This place has gone hog wild. The Michigan bench is screaming. They are throwing helmets. They are jumping up and down. Billy Taylor has been mobbed in the end zone. As when they needed him, their greatest rusher that Michigan kicked the extra point, a most important extra point at that. Exactly right. The ball is placed down. It's up. It's good. Dana Corn kicked his 54th straight. That was a 72-yard drive and 11 plays with Billy Taylor climaxing it with a 21-yard scoop around the right side for his 13th touchdown at the 5-yard line, just as you were saying that. And here comes Dana Coyne's kickoff. It's a squibber trying to kick away from Campana, rolls down and is picked up by Leopard at the 15-yard line. He's hit immediately by Tom Drake, gets away from him, comes up to the 25, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 29-yard line. This game isn't over yet. Well, what's been the greatest season in Michigan history? Be alone up here. Single setback as Galvo says Lampke is going back to put the ball in the air. He's getting the time to throw. He's scrambling around now. He's firing it. It's complete to the 35, to the 40, the 45, the 50, and knocked out of bounds is Wakefield at the 45 of Michigan. Bruce Elliott over to knock him out of bounds, and Lampke squirming around in that backfield, finally found Wakefield downfield, and he hit him. The clock shows 1:51 to go. Single setback. They have two split men right side. One split left, and Lamka is back to pass. He's being chased by Grambo. He fires a long one. It is caught, but he is out of bounds. Morris Bradshaw made the reception, but he was out of bounds when he did it. Back to pass goes Lamka. Gets some time. Now he's being chased. Now he's being dropped. 49-yard line of Michigan coming through there. Greg Ellis. And Fred Grambo along with Tom Beckman.
All right, not a bad play now by Lamka. He didn't have an awful lot of option.
Ohio State is only going to employ one split man. This time it is faked. Lamka is back to pass. He fires it, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Tom Darden. Holy mackerel, Tom Darden has come up with his second interception, and he's not giving the football up. The Ohio State Buckeyes are screaming that Darden interfered with a receiver. Woody Hayes is out on the field. He is screaming at the official who drops the flag, and I think Woody's going to get tagged with a 15-yard penalty here. I wouldn't go within 10 yards of that field right now. This is all-out war. From the wishbone tee, Sippa keeps it and falls down himself, and now Ohio State, remember, does not have a timeout left to stop the clock. Michigan can let that clock roll. Again, Larry Sippa waiting for the snap. He takes it and falls down once again. And on top of him come about 5 Buckeyes, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised we see a flag. We will. Against Ohio State, and Woody Hayes has grabbed the first down marker. He's thrown it onto the field. He's whipped up the chain. I'll tell you, the guy running the chain over there, he's grabbed another one. He's throwing that onto the field. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised they tagged him with that. Glenn Dowdy says, what are you waiting for? And his players call him back into the huddle. That gives Michigan a first down at the 35-yard line. And Sippa, no doubt, will just keep the football and try to drop on it again on a long count. He does. Of course, he and Murdoch are getting their ears pounded off. You better believe it. Clock shows 30 seconds and is running. Michigan starting on the field. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sippa falls on the ball. The game is over. Michigan has defeated Ohio State 10-7, and Bedlam breaks loose on the field down below it.